Hi, Dave from Informed American here. I hope you're having a great day. And I wish that on all of you every single day, but it does get harder and harder to have a good day, doesn't it? I was just thinking about this before we get into what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the shooting, the multiple shootings as protests turned to violence, riots, burning, the usual story. The usual things we've seen over the last, 3, 4, 5 months now? I guess, what are we? George Floyd was, I believe, the 25th of May. So now 3 months, 3 full months. I don't even, and as I've said many times, rather, we're now in COVID time. So every day feels like the same. You don't know if it's been 10 years or 1 day or 1 week. It seems like we're trapped in this nightmare over the summer, and it does start to weigh on you a little bit. It's been weighing on me, but we are in an information war, or in a culture war, and as I said to you, and one of the things we do here certainly is to look at what the mainstream media is saying, and to take a look at the narratives of the day. And certainly one of the big stories has been this Kenosha, Wisconsin shooting. I was looking at this, trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and thankfully, actually, the mainstream media did help. We got a New York Times actually coming through, compiling a bunch of videos taken that night of the multiple shootings. So they actually did some real journalistic work, which is rare sometimes from the mainstream media, but so far it does look like a good source. It's just video from the night, and we can all make up our own decisions. But as I said earlier, we are in an information war. And it is critical, even though this stuff can burn you out, this stuff can kind of get you down. As I said, it's starting to get me down a little bit. I'm just tired of the chaos. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the accusations on both sides. I'm tired of there's anything now. It's like a powder keg where everything is on edge. Not even police brutality, but simple rumor of police brutality, maybe something I'll touch on a bit later, can spark mass rioting, looting, violence, all that stuff. I mean, are we not coming apart at the seams here? And what's the answer? Is Biden or Trump an answer? I mean, I know many of you watching here are Trump supporters. Some of you are not. Some of you are just here to look for another source of information, another perspective, and we certainly try to provide that. But what's Biden going to do? Is he going to pick up the phone? All right, guys, I'm president now, and you remember all that rioting and that looting? Let's just go ahead and shut it down. Or actually, hold on, let me get that right, because I remember when he told Kamala Harris about that she was the nominee. I think he had the phone upside down or something. So maybe, okay, guys, turn down the rioting. All this. I mean, is that what he's going to do? How's he going to do it? By what logic will he get them to stand down? And then, I mean, and almost in a sense, if Biden is elected and he is able to just turn this thing off, to turn off the spigot, that's almost worse, isn't it? Because then it suggests a conspiracy to burn down American cities, a coordinated conspiracy to break down our communities, and then to elect a man who can then turn it off. I mean, wouldn't that be worse? And President Trump, I don't know what's he gonna do. We're getting into the shooting, the 17-year-old who shot and killed 2 people, and a lot of confusion over what's been happening. Who is this kid and what in the world happened? Of course, here we are again with more violence, more protesting, protesting an issue with the police, and then citizens basically going after one another. And one of the things I said earlier is this thing does have a tendency to get you down. But here we are in a culture war. Here we are in an information war, and all of you who are here, you need to be armed with the truth, or at least as close as we can get to the truth. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Of course, we are here live on Facebook, certainly, and so if you've got a comment about what you've seen in this with the Wisconsin shooting. If you've seen any video for here, I am going to warn you. Some of this stuff is a little bit graphic. Now, you don't see anyone's. This all comes from the New York Times. They've compiled much of the video of that night. They compiled hours of footage into some clips just to take a look at what happened here, try to get a sense of what happened. So I'd love you to chime in here as I'm going through the story. And yeah, as I mentioned, some of this stuff is graphic. Now, there's no heads getting blown off or anything like that. There's no blood. It's essentially what you see is someone firing their gun at people. So that certainly could be disturbing, and I understand if that is disturbing to you. So. For those who don't know, of course, there was the Blake shooting, which sparked protests all around Wisconsin. We saw buildings being burned. Same story. I mean, here we are again, guys. Same story. More violence, more rioting, more protesting, and then so what happens is people are tired of seeing it, so they go out there. They bring their gun out into the community. They don't want to see businesses getting burned, or they just want to go out there and cause trouble. Who knows? And none of it is good. Let's just be clear about that. Nobody should be out there doing any of the stuff that they're doing. It is just ridiculous. And the longer this goes on, this is not going to be an isolated incident. We're going to see more of this. We're going to see, as the police are apparently unwilling or unable to do anything other than just maybe show up. And so people are just left, going after each other. And that's it. And then maybe when it's all said and done, we arrest somebody. There was that incident. I believe this was outside of Portland. The guy who was dragged out of his pickup truck. The BLM protesters wouldn't let him leave. They told him sit while he's trying to apparently either call the police or call someone to pick him up. He gets beaten, kicked in the head. Here we are. The cops are nowhere to be seen. People are angry. People are ticked off about what's going on both sides. So they go out. They go out to either make their point or to go stop someone from doing whatever they're going to do. And then what happens when we're left basically with anarchy? We see people left for dead, and it is just freaking ridiculous, everybody. I am just fed up with it. I really am. This is just ticking me off to no end that we have to deal with this stuff seemingly every single day. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting, and it is unacceptable for the United States of America that we have to look at this crap every single day with no clarity about where the path forward is or what's next. And it seems like the society is just dissolving right in front of us with no hope. No hope. What's Trump going to do? What's Biden going to do? I have no idea. What are they going to do? There's no answer here. Unless there is like some conspiracy to keep this stuff up, I don't know. We are in serious upheaval. Certainly the worst I've seen in my lifetime. Maybe some of the older folks can chime in and say, maybe the 60s were worse, or the 70s were worse. Certainly we know surrounding the civil rights movement, Vietnam, we know there was a lot of crazy stuff going on, and then moving into like the early 70s with bombings and all that. But I don't know, and I'd love to know if someone could chime in the extent to which the hate that people have for one another, just regular Americans hating each other at this level. I mean, it is, even me. I mean, I feel like just out here talking about it is could be potentially dangerous. I mean, I don't know. There's people out there who want to ruin people's lives, and I don't want to get caught in that crossfire. And here we are trying to report on things that are going on, and all of you are out here trying to figure out what in the world is happening, and where are we headed. And so we're here. We're all here together trying to sort things out, trying to be informed Americans, guys, trying to understand the world a little bit and to get a handle on the things that are happening. So we're out here trying to do our best. So let's get to the story. Let's move to this the New York Times breaking things down. I want to just go to here, and I have got a lot of videos here. Tracking the suspect in the fatal Kenosha shooting. So footage appears to show a teenager shooting 3 people during protests in Wisconsin. Now, I will say it's not all 100% clear, but certainly, well, towards the finale, I guess, if you want to call it that, is clear, but there's some stuff that happens in the middle here that isn't. But let's just get to it. So we go, a teenager who walked among protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, carrying a military-style automatic rifle, was arrested and faces charges of first-degree intentional homicide in connection with shootings that left two people dead on Tuesday night. Now, the first alarming thing is that Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old Illinois resident. Guys, just to everybody, a 17-year-old should not be out carrying. Well, he shouldn't be outside when this crap is going on. And to be out there with a gun, I think they call it New York Times calls it a military-style semi-automatic rifle. I don't know, but whatever. At least they didn't call it an assault rifle. An AR-15. What are you doing? What are you doing? And there's a report here that potentially it seems like he lives in a single mother home. Mom, what are you doing? It said that there was a report that she dropped him off there. What, with this gun? What are you thinking, Mom? Dropping off your son Kyle in all of this chaos. I just said, I'm a grown man, and this is a dicey just to talk about. Well, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to let my kid go out there. I mean, just problem number one, guys. What in God's name are you doing letting your 17-year-old son go out there in this chaos? As the country is being torn apart at the seams, you're gonna let your 17-year-old kid go out there and to do what? Well, we see what he does. We see what happens from that just one simple decision. I mean, guys, horrible. Why is he there to begin with? I mean, that's number one. Back to the story. He appeared in multiple videos taken throughout the night by protesters and bystanders who chronicled the events as peaceful protests gave way to chaos. Yes, guys, peaceful protests. Peaceful protests, everybody. I mean, they're still sticking on this thing. Peaceful protests. Sure, we're just peacefully burning down buildings, burning cars, breaking into things. Just, we're doing it peacefully. There is no peaceful protest anymore. It's done. It's over with, guys. It's over. Media's not going to stop. You're not out there to be peaceful. You're just not. And if you can't, it's just a done issue. It's not peaceful anymore. Some can gather peacefully, but they don't leave. And until they don't leave, they're no longer peaceful. Done. I mean, we can't even agree on what's a peaceful protest. I mean, you got CNN out there. There's a screenshot of one of the reporters sitting there with the chyron, the thing on the bottom of the screen saying, peaceful protest. Behind him literally is a building burning. Unbelievable. So back to the story here. I mean, it's just a little bit of background for the kid. They're basically saying that he had an affinity for guns. He had his social media accounts proclaimed support for pro-police causes like Black Lives Matter. Michael Gabriel said, yeah, it is sad. In clown world, Michael. I see your emoji, 100%. It is absolutely sad. It is absolutely enraging, Michael. What are your thoughts, Michael? If you had a chance to see, have you had a chance to see any of the footage here? That I am about to go through it, but it's just it's terrible. I mean, it's just this is a consequence of just a horrible situation going on in our country, and this kid should never have been there. And I cannot believe if it's true that his mother dropped him off. I don't know what to say about that. So he says basically his background here is a 17-year-old kid. And he had support for, let's see, Blue Lives Matter movement, Humanize the Badge, nonprofit that he ran a Facebook fundraiser for on his 16th birthday. So he's pro-police. And I don't know if this article says it or not, but he was also involved in some youth police programs, something like that. So he's a kid. I think it sounds like he's the kind of kid that wanted to be a cop, that loved the cops, and sort of like, I don't want to say George Zimmerman or anything like that, but just someone who was very pro-police, someone who obviously wanted to take matters into his own hands. So here we go. This was an interview of him done by someone from the Daily Caller. I'm just going to go ahead and play this just for a bit. And this is a 41-second video. It just says basically why he's here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and let him.
What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed, and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night. So what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously. But I also have my med kit. We're protecting from the citizens, and I just got pepper sprayed by a person in the crowd.
All right, I'm going to stop that. Young man, this is not your job. You shouldn't be out here. It's not your job to protect anything. Leave it to the adults. Horrible. And he sees, he's a 17-year-old kid, I guess an idealist, believes in law enforcement. I see chaos in the streets. Now, he's not from Wisconsin. I believe he's from somewhere in Illinois. He sees his society falling apart, much in the way I'm seeing society fall apart, much in the way all of you are seeing society being ripped apart. And so he thinks he's going to go do something about it. He's going to go protect. There was that video of a furniture store in Kenosha that got burnt down, and basically the owner was there just this tearful, my life is over. I don't have insurance. My place isn't, it's not like a thing where you burn down my business and I just call the insurance guy and he snaps his finger like a genie and my furniture store comes back. My lost wages, my employees gone without a job. If I even have insurance, and if I have insurance, if they even cover civil unrest. And if they did, what would the premiums be? So he's seeing this stuff. He's seeing this stuff going on, and he wants to do something about it. He sees, I don't know what he's thinking about the cops, because you can't have a very high opinion on the cops right now on either side, can you? Really? I mean, the left, the BLM and all that, they hate the cops. They want them gone. They don't think you should basically arrest anybody if they don't want to be arrested. That seems to be the standard. If someone is caught doing something and he resists, then you just have to let him go. Then on the other side, if you're pro-police, what are you supporting? They're not doing anything. And you might say that the mayor of these cities aren't telling their cops to do what letting them do their jobs or whatever. And you might say that the governors are not allowing the National Guard to come in and help. But nothing's being done anywhere. I mean, on either side. Well, what's there to love the police for? They're not doing their jobs. So it's all crap. It's all crap on both sides. Well, so with that, let's get to I got a couple of. Let's get this to I'm gonna pivot now to this Twitter thread, as you can see me can browse Twitter with me. So this is also a New York Times reporter, but some of the videos here are actually quite a bit better. Now, there is a little something here. Now in the beginning, you see him. There was another group of guys out there. It looks like all men. Maybe there's a woman there. I'm not sure. But they're all just kind of hanging out, ostensibly to protect the business. And here, one of the controversies here is that apparently the cops were giving out water to some of these guys. And I mean, I don't know if this is a good thing, or I believe it's portrayed as a bad thing that the cops gave water. The cops said that they'd give water to anybody. So we're moving on here. So you see him, Rittenhouse here, walking around. There's another shot. And then, so what we go with the next video. Now this is a reporter here, Christian Tribert, says to better understand what happened next, we synchronized 6 live streams, which, by the way, is very helpful for me and to all of you, because I was sitting here this morning trying to get sense of the story, looking at all the video. So in this one, they put it all together. So I would say, whatever you say about the New York Times, everybody, whatever you say about the New York Times, this is the absolute best footage I've seen on the incident so far. So. Fake news many times, but I wouldn't call this fake news quite yet. So again, some of this you are going to see gun shooting. So if it does bother you, or if you got children watching or something like that, just be aware. And again, there's no carnage, there's no blood or anything like that. But just want to give you all a fair warning, because we all are all our friends here, and I don't want any of you to be upset by anything you may see. So with that, let's hit that. Let's hit the next video. So there's Rittenhouse. Now, you just heard the guy, whoever's recording, say that's Antifa. So So let's see. So that we don't know who they're referring to. Certainly Rittenhouse. You're welcome, Michael Gabriel. You're welcome for. Michael says thanks for giving the whole story. I'm trying, trying here. This stuff really is important, even though this stuff is upsetting, as you can all tell that I'm worked up about this because it's angering that any of this crap is even happening, and that we have to look at this stuff. But here we are now. Michael, where we're forced to take sides, I guess, something like this. I don't even really want to take a side, but we'll see there's some accusations of things, and all of us have to decide for ourselves, as there's a narrative being pushed from both sides, from the mainstream media, from the conservative media, from whatever the heck, whatever sources you get. There's always competing narratives, and you got to look at this thing yourself. Don't believe what you're hearing. Believe me. I'm giving you the source material. Even if you're listening to, I don't know, Rush Limbaugh or something like that, you got to check this stuff out for yourself. So let's get back to this video. So we heard the man say, "There goes Antifa," and then we saw. I'm gonna just back up just a second because Rittenhouse is highlighted here. Yeah, just right there. So that's him there with the gun. Now just watch what happens.
Yeah, that's Antifa, man. Oh, you got a gun, baby.
Oh, handgun. Right there. See that? Somebody with a handgun, and we hear a gunshot. Now, it's not clear who shot. It was pretty clear here. Yeah, so the man, definitely, the guy with the handgun shoots. As Rittenhouse, with his gun, turns and runs, is just running. Clearly, it looks to me, I don't know what it looks like to all of you, but it looks to me like Rittenhouse is being pursued. Does it not? What else does it look like? It looks like he's trying to leave. Now we don't know what happened before this. We don't know what Rittenhouse was doing. There was some reports that Rittenhouse is walking around shooting his gun. I don't know. There's no video so far. What I've seen, shooting at protesters, pot shots, or something like that. So far, there's no evidence of that I've seen. That could be out there. That may, as this thing is developing. But this is what we've got so far. It looks like he's trying to leave the situation, or just going somewhere. We don't know. But he's certainly being pursued. I think we can agree on that. Someone fires a handgun, and then more shooting. Now, what is going on here? Now, if we go back, so Rittenhouse turns toward the sound of the gunfire as another pursuer lunges toward him. He then fires 4 times with his assault rifle and appears to shoot the man in the head. Now, we don't see that. We don't see that from this. Now, I think we've got the next video potentially could show from another angle. Okay, so yeah, so let's just imagine this is basically completely different perspective. We saw the man with the handgun. We're just looking from basically the other side, and let's roll. So we hear the gun. Now someone's chasing Rittenhouse. Let's just let this play, and then we see the fire from Rittenhouse. Sorry, let me raise this a little bit. So lots of gunshots. Now, so what do we? Yeah, so there's Rittenhouse again. Just keeping. Yeah, so there he is walking, and it says he makes a phone call or something. I'm not sure what he did there. So let's go back up just a second. So shot fired. Someone chasing Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse hears the gunfire, turns, and fires. I think that's what happens here. Christ, look at this crap. So there he goes, and then he leaves. So, and then, by the way, while this is going on, we get some peaceful protesting going on here. So, in case anyone was curious what was happening that day. So we got this going on. This is the only way I can get my voice heard about police brutality is to go destroy some SUV. Now, back to this. I'd be curious if anyone's viewing this any differently than me. Someone fires. So far, it looks like based on video evidence, the first shot was fired by some unknown man. It appears to be a man putting his gun out, shooting, as Rittenhouse is being pursued. And then there's someone chasing Rittenhouse from behind. He hears the gunshot, or at least the gunshot happens. We assume he heard it. Then Rittenhouse turns and shoots off some number of rounds. I think it sounded like 4 there. And then, and ostensibly that person was shot and shot in the head. So I think that may be one of the ones who was left dead. Now, We've got another here. Yeah, so here's another one. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Yeah, so I think if we move forward here, that's him making a phone call. This looks like to me like the same video before. And then, so that's basically the first shooting. And that's what, and this is how this sums it up. And this has let me just bring this back up here. This is New York Times. First shooting. Rittenhouse is being pursued by the group. An unknown gunman fired. So we got that. We're not sure why he fired. It looked to me like a warning shot to send him away. I mean, we don't know everyone's intention. But that first handgun shot, the first handgun thing, I mean, that looked like he was just trying to scare him away. That's and it looks like Rittenhouse turns toward the sound of gunfire as another person lunges towards him in the same direction. Rittenhouse then fires 4 times, shot the man in the head. I mean, that's what we get. Now then we get to the second. This is the second shooting. So there's basically 2. So keep in mind there's 2 incidents here. Now Rittenhouse is leaving, running down the street. That's clear, right? He looks like he's running here, and then we can go back to Twitter, and then back here. Let me just pause here for 1 sec. Let me get this back. Okay, so now here's the second incident, guys. Here's what happens, and this is more graphic than previously. So just prepare yourself here. Again, no blood or gore, but certainly gun violence. Let's go. There he is, Rittenhouse running. Chased. Hit. Chasing. Running. Still running. Trips, falls. Kicked. Hit with a skateboard. Rittenhouse on the ground there. And then this man here looks like he's got a skateboard. And then another man, look at this guy with a handgun. Now, we don't know if this is the same guy that shot earlier. That we saw the Rittenhouse response was to turn and fire at somebody else. Unfortunately, that poor guy who was just chasing after him he's the one who got shot, not the guy who fired the gun, or we don't even know who that was. And then this guy, yes, clearly shot in the stomach, shot in the arm. And there we go. And then it says we can hear 8. This Christian continues. We could hear at least 8 gunshots from farther away. Mr. Rittenhouse gets up, begins walking north of the scene. 8 more shots are heard closer range. I don't know who that is. So the thing here is he's apparently giving himself up to the cops. Rittenhouse is, but they don't really seem to do anything. I mean, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Now, clearly, he should have been taken in by the cops. I mean, 100%. But they have no idea who he is. There's no communication. They appear to just simply be driving for no reason because they're not stopping anything. We've got people running around literally running around shooting each other in the streets. And we'll just do like the slow drive-by. Who knows what he told the cop? The cop probably told him to get out of here. Can't be bothered. Who knows? Stupid. I mean, he should have been immediately taken into custody. And there we go. So, I mean, this is just another angle of what we saw earlier. Just a correction of the time. So that's it, guys. That's what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's what led to 2 people being killed. We assume the first shooting left the man dead, and then the second, I guess the other guy got shot. Here it says got details here. Moving on here, it doesn't say how one of the other guys in the second shooting was dead. Oh yeah, he shot into the chest. The other guy so it looks like. I mean, I don't want to be wrong here, but it looks to me like he's here. Let's look at this one again. Now he's being chased, right? That guy there this guy here. I mean, he hits it. Oh, sorry. Oops. Let's go back here. Now there's Rittenhouse running. There's some guy in a white shirt running after him. He's got his hand back. I mean, look at these guys. By the way, what are these 2 people thinking over here? Get the heck out of there. There's a guy running with a gun. Now we don't see he's swinging his arm. Hits him with something. Rittenhouse runs. Trips at some point here. Gets hit again with somebody. It's hard to tell exactly right behind that man there. But then here he is on the ground. He trips on his own. That's clear. Now, there he is. So he's armed. He trips, turns, points his gun. And then I think right here is where he shoots the guy. I don't know. Nope, pulls up the gun. Now he's being There's surrounded by 4 people, and there's a guy hitting him with a skateboard. And I think that maybe that guy that's got shot in the stomach with the skateboard, he might have been one of the ones. And the guy with the handgun gets shot. It didn't say. It appeared that Rittenhouse didn't say that he was injured at all. So what do you call this? Now it's a question of, I think Tucker Carlson's under fire for calling this self-defense. But it's clear to me that the crowd was there to subdue him. Certainly, he was being chased before. We don't know why. We don't know what he did, if he did anything, and we don't know why Rittenhouse left the area that he was in with the other group that was ostensibly there to protect businesses, which was what their point was. The reason for being there, which is why he was there, which we saw in the first video. I'm here to. It's my job. It's Rittenhouse. It's not your job, but he considered it his job to go out there and protect property or whatever. Why he left, I don't know. Why he was being chased, I don't know. Did he do something before that? I don't know. Now we know that we certainly know that if Antifa sees you and don't think you belong there, they will try to chase you out, throw stuff at you, get you out of there. Now, why they're chasing a man with a gun, I don't know. But we also know there was another guy with a handgun. Clearly, either the same guy or another guy, either the same guy who shot that first shot up in the air, or if it's him that then later pursued him that got shot, or if that was somebody else with a handgun, that's not clear. Rittenhouse. Now, let's look at the first. Now we don't know. I don't know what the intentional homicide charge is for. There's 2 dead. I don't know if it's for the first shooting, or if it's for the second shooting. In both instances, now I don't know what you call what is self-defense, right? If I'm being attacked, I would assume. I mean, it would look like self-defense would be better on the second shooting than the first shooting, but again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the laws are, or if he, I mean, first of all, we don't know if he's allowed to even have that gun. I don't know what the law is. I don't even know what the law is for a minor kid. I mean, can you be out there with a gun? I have no idea. I don't know what the laws are in Wisconsin. He's from Illinois, so I don't think he's supposed to be there with a gun. I would assume. So that could be a problem number one. And just carrying it, can you open carry, or can he open carry? I have no idea. I don't know that you can open carry as a minor, so that's a problem. I mean, we got a lot of problems here. So, and as I said earlier, your mom dropping you off was a big freaking problem. And then wandering off, I mean, that's not a crime. But whatever happened here, where he found himself being chased off by Antifa. As the one guy in the video said, I don't know. Michael Gabriel says, should have never been there. What were you thinking of letting a 17-year-old gun with a long gun in the first place? What a waste of a life. Yeah, I agree 100%, Michael. Michael, you are spot on. You are 100% spot on. This was an absolute disaster waiting to happen. And where are the cops? Well, they're just sitting there in their cars doing a slow roll by while the whole country just dissolves, essentially. Gets dissolved into acid, or by acid. Unreal. So I don't know. We're gonna left to see what. I mean, that's the case. I don't know that there's gonna be more that comes out of that. I mean, eyewitness accounts don't really count for jack when you've got video evidence. It's clear he was being chased. It's clear that someone shot first, at least according to the time. Assuming all this video is correct and there isn't more video out there that could come out. That it may be. What's murder and what's self-defense? I mean, I see murder as I went out and I intentionally went out and shot somebody, right? At what point does it become self-defense? I mean, if you're on the ground, you're being chased, you're being hit, what is your responsibility as a citizen to allow yourself to be hit? Now, I don't know if circumstances change if that happens in the commission of a crime. Whoever those people are that were chasing him are not the police. They may think of themselves as their own version of the police, and clearly they saw it as a chance for them to disarm him. But that's not really up to them, and he wasn't. Now, he did shoot somebody else, so maybe they're saying, well, let's get the murderer, basically, citizen's arrest type of thing. I guess that could be the argument. So if you defend yourself after committing a crime, I don't know, the circumstances change. Or simply, if you trip and you're surrounded and people are hitting you, do you have the right, if you are armed, to pull that trigger? I don't know what the laws are in Wisconsin, and of course there's so many extenuating circumstances with because he's a minor, he's from out of state. Does defense after the does self is it no longer self-defense after you commit a violent crime? I don't know the answer to that. Don't bring a gun to a situation like this. Don't let your minor kid go out there with a gun for any of this. Everybody stay home. It's an absolute crap show, guys. It is an absolute crap show. Now, just to get on a couple of things that I've heard, there's some reports that this kid has a criminal record. I haven't been able to verify that. He's a minor, so I don't know that if this refers to him or not. I haven't been able to independently verify whether or not that's true if this kid has had a record, because some of these charges, stuff being passed around the internet, I don't know if it's real or fake news or what, but one arrest as far back as 2016, which would make him a 13-year-old. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's one of the things being floated out there. Representative Ayanna Pressley, I believe that's who it was, called him a white supremacist. There's no evidence of that. There is evidence, however, of him being certainly, pro-police, Blue Lives Matter, and he ran that one charity there. So that is what we got, guys. That is what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with young man Rittenhouse. There he is, left 2 people dead. This is a life ruined, as Michael Gabriel said. His life's over. Even if he gets cleared, I don't know. I mean, there's certainly, and I'm just leaving it up to murder. Is it murder? I don't know that it's murder, but there's something bad here. I mean, you fired your gun at people. That's never a good situation, and it should have never happened in the first place. It's an absolute disaster. This kid is going to go to jail for something. If it's not murder, it's going to be a litany of charges here. That's going to be worked itself out in the court system, and it's sad. This shouldn't have to come to this. We shouldn't be having people out here feeling like they need to protect their society because the authorities are unable or unwilling to do so. It is an absolute disaster. It is sad, and it is very emblematic of the trouble that we are in, that our country is in right now. It is horrible. It's a horrible, horrible situation, and I just hope we can find some way out of it. But I do want all of you to be informed about this and to know what is going on. Now, one little side bit. I did see, just to shift gears just a little bit before we get out of here, I did see news that Trump told Biden that he needs to take a drug test as a condition of debates. I thought that was interesting. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what drugs he thinks Biden is on. I don't know if it's to reveal some sort of a medical condition, maybe like dementia or something. I don't know if that's the idea. And then in response, something I told you all about months ago, something I told Rodney about on Get Informed America, and certainly here, I believe in these little videos here, is that they don't want to do debates, and they may not ever do debates, and that's exactly what Nancy Pelosi said today. Don't debate. Don't debate Trump, because we know why. We know what's going to happen if Biden goes up there with Trump. At least we think is that Biden will not be able to keep up with the president, because he has not been. I got a story here from Zero Heads. Let me just dip here. Might as well, just before we get out of here. I don't think there should be any debates, says Pelosi, calling them a, quote, exercise in skullduggery. Nancy Pelosi just joined the chorus of prominent Democrats trying desperately to avoid placing Joe Biden in the front of the proverbial firing squad in a debate with President Trump. I don't think there should be any debates, Pelosi said on Thursday, one day after Trump told him to take a drug test. I just don't know what he's thinking there, unless he's got something up his sleeve or what. Says, I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States, nor a debate in terms of the... Okay, so just saying don't debate. Pelosi said that Trump was disgraceful when he stalked Hillary Clinton during the 2016 debate by walking near... Oh, man, he walked near her. That was like the worst thing I ever seen. That was creepy. It was weird. It was bad. It was, violent. Come on, get out of here. Says it's an act that is way beneath the dignity of the presidency. People get all moral and just when they want to. I think he will also belittle what the debates are supposed to be about. They're not about skullduggery on the part of someone who has no respect for the office he holds, much less the democratic process. I don't think he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. So debating, presidential debate, it's Joe Biden showing up, he'd be dignifying this awful man, and I'm going to stand above it. I'm not going to stoop to Donald Trump's level by engaging in a debate. or something. I don't know how that works, but that came across just before I began today, so I wanted to highlight it. Love to know what you think. Michael, thank you so much for commenting. I really appreciate you watching. Appreciate all of you watching. And if you are, if you're watching here on Facebook now, I'd love it if you would like this video, share it to someone who think that they need to understand what happened there. If they've just been following this casually, I think not credit to me, but I think actually I want to give credit to the New York Times for putting that together for all of us and just kind of walking through it. Of course, hit the like button. Also, head on over to, if you're watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to this channel. Also hit the like button. And I want all of you to go to informedamerican.com where you can get real smart news in your inbox every single day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.